on, guys? It's your boy John the Liquidator coming back with another video, and it looked like there is some interesting information coming out about NBA investors, the future of the WNBA, and will Caitlin Clark actually have a 2026 season? Guys, for this one here, we got to go all the way up to New York. Let's get it. Let's go. Have to talk about this, man. We're about a week and some change out from getting some information about this CBA process. Now, we know that they went on the...
For the WNBA, the clock isn't just ticking, it's screaming. We are staring down the very real possibility of a player strike, a move that could completely wipe the 2026 season off the calendar dot. And if you're looking for the reason why, don't expect a straightforward press release. The real silent explanation is buried deep within the league's absolutely shocking financial records. Let's be clear, this isn't a simple dispute over salaries for a few key players.
Analysts coming on media platforms letting us know they just don't know how much longer the WNBA will be in existence. Now, I know a lot of us, including myself, I am a new WNBA fan. I didn't know shit about this league until Caitlin Clark got here. I'ma keep it real. Ain't no ducking, ain't no hiding from me. I came when greatness came. Now, I'm pretty sure there's many of you that's in the same situation as me. So, I did not know this league been going through growing pains for the last 30 damn years. How the hell do you go?
We're talking about a crisis rooted in 3 decades of consistent financial losses, investors who are losing their patience, and an uncomfortable, glaring truth that has been magnified by the explosive, unprecedented popularity of a single player. The league is standing on the edge of a cliff, and the reasons why are so much more serious than almost anyone could have imagined.
Hey, fan, I didn't know shit about this league until Caitlin Clark got here. I'ma keep it real. Ain't no ducking, ain't no hiding from me. I came when greatness came. Now, I'm pretty sure there's many of you that's in the same situation as me. So, I did not know this league been going through growing pains for the last 30 damn years. How the hell do you go through growing pains for 30 years? Please explain that to me. And then how the hell do you not turn a profit for 30 years?
We find ourselves right in the middle of a critical collective bargaining agreement, or CBA, extension period. Think of this as a 6-week pressure cooker where players have the power to officially call for a strike against the entire league. And while a full-blown official strike hasn't been declared just yet, the word on the street is that multiple players are already holding out, which is creating an unbelievable amount of tension behind closed doors.
Do you not turn a profit for 30 years? To me, this is just me, because I done own several businesses. And on the outside looking in with my business goggles, I think the WNBA is bankrupt. Oh, I think they hella bankrupt. I think they've been bankrupt. I think it's so bankrupt that the owners is just using the WNBA as a tax write-off. They gotta be. It gotta be a tax write-off. It is dead cap over there, bro. It gotta be. Could you imagine being a WNBA owner?
Now, initially, the internet did what it does best. It jumped to conclusions, and the loudest voices were all pointing their fingers at superstar Caitlin Clark, claiming her massive influence was the real reason for this high-stakes standoff. But here's the thing, WNBA players themselves have never actually confirmed those accusations, which leaves the identities of the players leading this charge a complete mystery.
That the owners is just using the WNBA as a tax write-off. They gotta be. It gotta be a tax write-off. It is dead cap over there, bro. It gotta be. Could you imagine being a WNBA owner and you're sitting there like, damn, year after year after year, well, hell, it's just turning into a tax write-off at this point because they haven't turned a profit. Then greatness came, which is Caitlin Clark. Now, Caitlin Clark comes, everybody forget the last 30 damn years. How is that? Now y'all want revenue sharing, profit sharing. To me, this is just me. Why don't y'all just...
The real story here, the one that truly matters, goes so much deeper than the actions of any single player, and it reveals a systemic league-wide problem that analysts are now forced to question out in the open. You can hear it on sports talk shows and see it in financial columns. Experts on major media platforms are no longer whispering their concerns, they are shouting them. They are openly admitting that they have no idea how much longer the WNBA can realistically continue to exist in its current state.
We got to talk about this. So NBA investors is looking like they're ready to pull the plug on the WNBA. That says WNBA will lose $40 million this season, and its investors are growing impatient. They've been impatient. While the WNBA is getting sold-out crowds for the finals between the New York Liberty and Minnesota Lynx. Now, this is from a year or two ago. It says the NBA owns nearly 60% of the league. When one combines the NBA owners' personal stake in WNBA teams, the WNBA itself, and the amount rises to 75%.
When you strip away all the excuses and the hopeful rhetoric, the conclusion you're left with is as stark as it is unavoidable. The league is bankrupt. I'm not just saying it's struggling or having a tough year, it is deeply, fundamentally, and some would argue irrevocably in the red. It appears to be so financially unsustainable that many owners are allegedly using their investment in a WNBA team as little more than a sophisticated tax write-off.
$2 billion media rights deal. See, the media rights deal for the W comes this year. I think, this is just my personal opinion, I think that's why they're holding out. The ladies want some of that $2 billion media right there. Here's the thing. We don't know how the media right deal is going to look because viewership is down. My viewership's still down. Certain creators getting their views back, but the audience so wishy-washy, it'll make you not even want to cover the W. I just got to be for real.
And this isn't just some wild fan theory, it's a cold, hard assessment that comes from witnessing decades of consistent failure to generate any kind of meaningful profit. This dead cap situation, this financial black hole, has been quietly draining resources and, more importantly, investor patience for far, far too long. So let's put ourselves in the shoes of a WNBA owner for a moment.
Go. The WNBA is bankrupt. They're bankrupt, bro. And they need to file chapter something at this point. The owners is trying. I get owners that. They're trying to give y'all something. But at this point, y'all acting like y'all been just the hottest thing since sliced bread. And that's just not it's the case. Y'all been operating as a loss. Now y'all talking about all these great people and all these people that came before Caitlyn. Well, if they were so great, why y'all ain't making no money? Why come y'all haven't made no money? Now, this is no disrespect.
And make no mistake, this is not some new sudden issue. For a staggering 3 decades, the league has been stuck in what people politely call growing pains. But that raises a critical question that exposes the whole rotten foundation. How can any business claim to be growing for 30 years while consistently failing to turn a single dollar of profit? It's a question that finally uncovers a profound underlying crisis that very few were willing to look at head-on until right now. Imagine year after year you pour money into this venture, and year after year you watch that investment shrink, consistently failing to produce any profit. At a certain point, wouldn't that passion project start to feel more like an entry in an accounting ledger? It becomes a convenient tool, a way to offset taxable gains from your other more successful businesses. Honestly, this scenario is the only one that logically explains why wealthy individuals and corporations would continue to fund a league that hasn't made any real money in 30 years. Then, like a lightning strike out of a clear blue sky, Caitlin Clark arrived. Her electrifying presence and the attention she commanded single-handedly made the public forget about those 3 decades of financial struggle, at least for a little while, shifting the entire conversation from financial ruin to record-breaking revenue. But that temporary buzz, as powerful as it was, simply couldn't hide the deep systemic problems forever. The quiet whispers of concern among investors soon grew into frustrated shouts, especially as reports surfaced that key NBA investors were getting impatient and were reportedly on the verge of pulling the plug on the WNBA entirely. It makes perfect sense that the players want a piece of that massive projected media rights deal. I mean, we're talking about a significant amount of money flowing into the ecosystem, and it's only natural for the athletes generating that value to want their fair share. The problem, however, is that the exact structure of that deal and its actual real-world impact are still shrouded in uncertainty. And this isn't just about last year's performance. The WNBA was projected to lose an astonishing $50 million, a forecast that was widely reported months in advance, showing this wasn't an unforeseen dip. This isn't a one-time financial hit, it's a guaranteed baked-in annual loss that has been a plague on this league for its entire existence. Now, the promise of a massive $2 billion media rights deal, set to begin in 2026, was supposed to be the cavalry arriving, the game changer that would finally fix everything. Instead, it's now looking more and more like a double-edged sword, becoming the primary driver for these player holdouts, and potentially making the entire financial crisis even worse instead of solving it. Despite all the incredible hype surrounding the new wave of stars, the viewership numbers across the league have been inconsistent when you look at the bigger picture. That underlying instability makes securing, and more importantly, leveraging a deal of that enormous magnitude far more complicated and precarious than it might look from the outside. A quick search online will confirm everything we've been talking about. The WNBA's financial situation is, to put it mildly, dire. The league is not generally profitable. In fact, it consistently operates at significant annual losses that are heavily subsidized by the NBA. Estimates of these yearly losses vary, but they typically range from $10 million on the low end to as much as a staggering $50 million per year. Since it first launched back in 1997, the WNBA has never once been profitable, relying almost completely on funding from the NBA to keep the lights on. Even with recent revenues approaching $100 to $200 million, the expenses remain even higher, which keeps the league locked firmly and perpetually in the red. Let's be brutally honest, there is no saving the WNBA under its current business model. The league is running in the negative, and it has been for its entire existence. From a purely financial standpoint, it probably should have folded a long time ago. This isn't just a pessimistic take, it's a harsh assessment that underscores the completely unsustainable nature of its financial operations. The truth is, even an unprecedented explosion in popularity, like the one we're seeing now, cannot instantly repair the deep-seated financial problems that have been compounding for decades. The frustration from owners and investors truly reaches a boiling point when you start to consider the players' demands for profit sharing. And so, here we are. The WNBA now stands at a crucial pivotal crossroads. Decades of what appears to be severe financial mismanagement are colliding head-on with the overwhelming pressure and expectations that come with newfound fame and attention. The ongoing CBA negotiations are no longer just about player salaries or travel accommodations. They have become a desperate battle for the very survival of the league itself. It begs a very pointed question. Why has profit suddenly become the central focus of negotiations after 30 straight years of nothing but consistent documented losses? Now, this isn't meant to disrespect any of the incredible players from past eras, but let's be real, if those previous eras were truly as financially successful as some claim, the league wouldn't be in the precarious life or death situation it's in today. The constant need for financial bailouts from the NBA tells a very different story. The entire 2026 season now hangs precariously in the balance, trapped in a perfect storm between massive historical losses, increasingly impatient investors, and a future media deal that, despite its impressive price tag, may not be nearly enough to save the league from itself.